Why the long faces?
We are at a crossroads, so to speak, where everybody can't help but wonder, what next? Where do we go from here?
Yes, more or less what I expected from you. But you got the picture. So, is your counter functioning? Have you checked it?
Yes, it's all green. Double checked it. Stepan's in the green too. We don't need masses here.
So, they were telling the truth.
Who was telling the truth? Why won't you answer? Who were those people trying to kill us? Why would they shoot at you, the Order's commander? Explain something, at least. You owe us that.
Well, I might as well drop the bomb now. The war did not end.
What do you mean,
what?
did not end?
Let me finish. Most of our cities are destroyed. The rest of the country is probably under enemy occupation. To avoid new nuclear attacks against us, Command chose the only viable course of action: to play dead. To ensure radio silence, the SHIELD system was created. A network of radio jammers covering Moscow and suburbs. So that some radio enthusiasts wouldn't bring more bombs down on our heads by whining on air. And it's one of these jammers that got disabled by the hands of those present here.
Could you not have shared that before? Say, before Artyom took that radio outside and caught all that radiation?
No! I only got briefed half year ago. Under a strict, you talk, you die policy. And then had to tell my people we were securing a weather station.
Sir, with all due respect, if we can't go back, maybe we should advance and move on?
I have an idea, but... Artyom, rather than carrying on with this silent disapproval of yours, check the airwaves. We should be out of the jamming range by now, so give it your best try. Look for transmissions from the Ark. Do you understand now why we're traitors in the eyes of Command? We shut down a jamming station, shot up the guards, destroyed a patrol train,
Use the radio
and
in a
ran
second,
away
just wanna
from
hear the rest of
Moscow.
this out.
Who even needs a trial when the case is so clear? There's no way back now. Which means we have to continue moving forward.
Command, what are you talking about?
The Moscow Defense Command. Have you ever heard of the Invisible Watchers?
I have, but they're just an urban legend.
Not at all. They are Command.
Are you sure they care for more than just protecting their asses? You mentioned the Ark. What's that all about?
If our team finds their signal, you'll figure everything out. Otherwise, there is nothing to talk about.
Do you think finding that Ark of yours is going to fix everything?
I do not. But if you have a better idea, then go ahead.
Yes, I do. We have to find a good place for people from Moscow, like Artyom always wanted.
Giving them all to the enemy? A grand idea. I say, we solve our problems before moving on to saving all Moscow. All right? How is it going, Artyom? Found it yet?
There's a whole world out here. A world where we could
We'll
live.
see if there's another
So far, we
station.
only know one thing for sure. Radiation levels are nominal. The air is breathable. But what about the rain?
So what? You can't even breathe in Moscow.
So, does anybody live out here? We don't know.
Attention!
How will
Attention!
they treat us?
This is the
I don't
Special
know that.
Restoration Committee.
Wait a moment, what was that?
Project base. Everyone who can hear me, everyone still loyal to the cause. Proceed to
Listen,
rally
everyone.
point. Rally point location is code 1811-79. Area 18-5.
That's where the boys be.
Proceed to the
Where is
rally
that
point.
number
Rally
supposed
point
to-
location is code
Got it.
1811.
So, it is somewhere around here. The Yamantau Mountain. So, the route from here should go like this. This is our goal.
So, is this what you had in mind?
Yes, this is it. The Ark Project is a whole city underground. Enormous stores, machines, the best experts. It is the Commander General's HQ. All of the country's leaders are there. They have already started the restoration work. We will tell them that Moscow is alive. It wasn't all for nothing. Everything will change. Everything. Do you get it? A new life is starting for all the survivors of the war.
By the way, are there any single women in that place?
Great reaction. So I think the moment calls for... Bring it out, Demir.
Bring what out, Colonel? Sir?
That thing that's been sloshing about in your canteen. Do you think I'm deaf or what?
That. Just a moment. I thought my ears were deceiving me.
It's not a short trip to the Urals, so we should make ourselves comfortable, I guess. Let's name this bucket of bolts at the very least, eh?
It's about time.
Let's call her Anna and be done with it.
Nah, go to hell. Even better. Oh, come
How about
on.
Auora, the Roman goddess of dawn and a cruiser of, you know what?
That's better.
Not bad. I like it.
Ah, beautiful name. Sounds okay, but the cruiser of what?
Yeah, I'll tell you later.
Looks like it's decided. Let's drink to Auora!
Hey, Artyom, let's take a look at that map.
All right, we had a round. That should be enough. Yermak, full steam ahead.
Hi.
Full steam ahead.
Wow, that's some distance. I wonder how long it will take. How are you, Alyosha?
So we're gonna hold off on doing the map simply because I do want to talk to everyone else in the train before we go forward. I will say that cutscene did illustrate everything I love about the Metro series: brotherhood, survivorship, coming together. Honestly, like, that's the biggest thing with Metro, is seeing humanity refusing to die in extreme adverse odds. Oh man, that is beautiful. I really wish I played this when it came out.
Well, I'll be damned. All those years of breathing through filters.
So, dear Moses, can you feel how sweet the air is without a mask? Or not just sweet, so many shades of taste it has. A weird feeling, eh, my friend? I remember you telling me how you took your mask off atop a Stankino tower. When you run those missiles in on the dark ones, was the air bitter then? Who knows?
Bitterest.
Had you not launched those missiles, you'd probably never have climbed that building or received that signal. Life is weird, huh? One random event drags another with it, like links in a chain. And you are pulling that chain out of a deep, dark well. Links emerge from the dark water. And what link is in that bucket that's on the end of the chain? That's a mystery. That's what I often think about when facing a choice. You can't drop the chain either. You always have to drink from that bucket. Well, bottoms up, I suppose. So, how does it feel to be the Moses who yanked on this particular chain? Is it dumb to think about such things when all I ever did in life was carry out orders? Well, I'm not called idiot for nothing. Still, I would like to know what's on the end of your chain.
It's Anna, if you know what I mean. Haha, just kidding. That was actually surprisingly philosophical for a character named Idiot.
Everyone out of Moscow.
It doesn't matter if there's radiation or not, Comrade American. The citizens of Moscow will have to stay put.
Wait, Sam's American?
We're just a short way from the city. And the radiation's gone.
Things might have been that easy in your America, but life has never been so easy here. Even now, we woke up saviors of the Metro, and by lunchtime, we're enemy spies, saboteurs, train thieves, and what for? Something we thought was true turned out to be a lie. And that is enough for them to want us dead.
The Hansa bosses must have known that we can live up here. But the public didn't know that. Who'd want to stay down in the metro if we told them?
If they are ready to make mistakes,
was a proper evacuation.
And who would do that? Hudson's people? The ones that kept us in the lock and key for 30 years? Before us too. Besides, getting the people on the Bosco is not the end of it. You have to settle them somehow, provide food. No, I do get where you're coming from. This matter is way more complex than it seems.
I guess you're right. All this clean air went to my head. So, wait, does this mean the Colonel was in the know?
His rank does seem to suggest that. Besides, he led negotiations with Hansa. Where would we be without them after the D6 debacle? They gave us weapons, recruits to replenish our losses. We, on the other hand, our competence does not stretch beyond thinking cozy thoughts and keeping the fools on the metro from killing each other off. Remember, if not us, then who?
You are too smart for your own good, idiot.
That was a beautiful conversation. Okay, that makes sense why
How far are we gonna go?
Sam has just Steve
No
Bloom's
masks
normal
needed.
voice
The railroad runs
because he's
through
an
the whole
American.
country. As far as we want, I reckon. As for Yamantau, it's about 2,000 clicks away.
How far can we get with the fuel we have? What's this machine's mileage?
Ah, that. Yeah, it certainly is a coal guzzler, this thing. Then again, there should be coal stores at every station. And if we don't find any, we could still burn firewood.
I'm gonna assume that conversation's over. It was beautiful. I liked a lot of it there. And it gave a lot more perspective. I also like how Idiot basically touched on the events from the other two games.
A lot of those up ahead. I don't need a lot, really. It's quality that matters.
Okay, we can't talk to you, Mac. Alright, I don't think we can talk to them. We'll go down to the bottom. Ooh, a letter. We'll look at that in a second. Some spare gun parts.
Hello there, Artyom. It seems to me, whether it was intended or not, that our colonel now has a goal to strive for because of you. We all remember the way you fought back in D6, so no matter what lies ahead, we're with you. You can count on us. Yeah, yes. As for me, I'm running a little inventory check. Yeah, it is kind of cramped in here. I'm thinking of making something of a workbench. So that's all the instruments we get, and everything else will be within arm's reach. With no workbench, you just lose small components. We'll use this place to work on the weapons. Cleaning, oiling, keep out of everybody's way, and keep them from messing with my stuff. And well, we'll have to take turns, of course, but we'll manage. So, if you find any weapons you'd like to keep, I'll store them for you here on the Auora, and you can come back to exchange them. You'll get them back in their best shape ever. Don't you doubt. Boy, have I cleaned and oiled a lot of weapons in my life. Factory and homemade, too. Some of those were just amazing. So unusual. So, if you have any weapon-related questions, I'm your man. And weapons, they are like girls. They need attention. You clean your weapon well, you oil it, you check the ammo, because these dirty ammo caps do get rusty sometimes. But if you put your heart into it, the weapon never fails. Well, I'll just finish oiling this one, then start on another.
Why do I feel like... I feel like they made him the weaponsmith because his name's Tokarev, and that's one of the more iconic handguns throughout history of the last, 100 years or so. That was the main Russia's service arm during World War II and throughout a good chunk of the Cold War. So that's a nice touch, and then I also felt like the weapon never fails was a knockoff of the heroes never die line from Overwatch, just them putting in a bit more cynical of terms. And we will read this letter in a second. We're gonna go talk to our buddy running the coal chute.
Well, hello there, Artyom. You people could have called me up there to treat to Aurora. I still think Beelzebub was a better name. By the way, did you come to trade places with me? Or did you just want some exercise? I heard that. Monotonous labor calms you. Well, it's no lie. I do feel this calm, you see. Idiot says it's dynamic meditation. That philosopher doesn't come here to meditate often.
The shade. That was a good burn there, Duke. All right, take you a break. I'll run it for a little bit.
Well, help yourself.
So I wonder if this just runs ad infinitum.
The only good thing about this job is that you forget it's winter. If only you didn't have to pay for this comfort later, with your whole body aching.
Yep, you can literally just feed the coal fume. We'll do this just a little bit longer than I think. We'll let our boy Duke go back to meditation. And one more for good measure.
That's all? Okay, I'll take it from here.
It's because I'm the main character, Duke. Become more important, god damn it. Alright, you keep looking at those parts, buddy. I'm gonna just take this letter here real quick. Survey report. To head of SHIELD Project Railroad Department. Zalilnak, VM, Railway State Survey Report. Having conducted the Railway State Survey as per your order, I can report that beyond the defense perimeter, the railway is in condition ranging from acceptable to good, thus presenting a security threat by providing a convenient way for the enemy to transport and supply their agents. On the other hand, within the defense perimeter, the railway is worn down beyond acceptable state, which could lead to a complete halt of train movement along the most used lines in the nearest future, putting defensively Moscow in grave danger by disrupting our lines of supply and reinforcement transportation. Considering aforementioned, I hereby request that all available maintenance crews are sent to work on repairing the most damaged sections of the critically important lines using rails and cross ties from the lines beyond the 101 kilometer mark from the center of Moscow. Thus, at the same time, effectively denying the enemy the use of railways leading into the city. Okay, so they were taking tracks from outside Moscow and the center of Moscow to repair their lines.
How long have you been working with those German
And repair that, but keeping the central broken so they can't just invade. Relatively smart. Let's talk, Miller. I brought smokes.
What's done is done. Yes, I didn't stop you from going outside. Yes, I tried to talk you out of it. Yes, I didn't tell you were not the only ones to survive. But even I didn't have the clearance. Not back then. This is a state secret. Do you understand? I've been granted clearance only after a fight to protect the T6. They said they needed me to teach their recruits because the war was still on. Don't you think I was shocked? What did our people in D6 die for? What did I lose my legs for? But I understood. Because the war was still on. Security was paramount. our people would have understood. Squeeze, do the same. You would have spilled the beans to everyone in Metro. You're a goddamn Prometheus, a messiah. You must lead the people out of the caves. Do you think you would have saved anyone? Remember that jammer? What if Moscow has been found out because of you? What if there are missiles inbound? Anyways, no matter what they think of me, I'm no deserter and will never become one. I'm ready to bear full responsibility for everything. But if there is even the smallest chance to earn my pardon, I will take it. Which means that we, like a runner retreat, need to keep running ever faster just to keep balance. And don't dare you trip us all over again. Am I understood? I hope I am. Anyway, at least now we know where to run. So, go back inside and take a look at the map. Our route is pretty obvious now.
You know, while I don't fully agree with Miller in not telling anyone, I do understand his motivations and how it put him in a tough place. Because he was the only one informed after D6 had lost his legs and told that if you tell anyone you will die, and the war's right outside you and where you take everything out, that's gonna make anyone paranoid, obviously, so I don't blame him for not telling it. What he could do is he could have picked around a handful of people to be his trusted advisors, though, and let them know what was going on, and start working on a plan to better integrate with the army. Let's hope Moscow isn't ruined because of us finding the jammer and accidentally breaking it, but we can only keep going forward, and Auora seems to be our tool to go there.
I was proud to be helping those. Then, about 2 months ago, they loaded a bunch of people onto my Auora. The guards took them outside and came back alone. Told me they took the people to a nearby station, but I knew it had caved in years ago. A few days later, I was coming back from a run, stopped the train, went and found those people. Soon they understood I saw that ravine. Fed me the usual lies about the spies and whatnot.
Did you believe them?
Well, it sure seemed safer to believe. But then, I just couldn't keep the charade up. Then the security officer told me straight. Whoever you speak to dies. The whole station dies with him if need be. So, that's how it went. But when I saw you, and then Artyom, I knew I wasn't alone anymore. You can't just keep these things in.
Now I understand why you helped us back then. Thank you.
Don't mention it. God willing, it won't end up being done in vain.
Yes. Have you ever taken a train beyond city borders?
No, didn't get a chance to go. I used to be a metro train engineer. I worked on the ring line. Ha! What a bore that was. Going round and round all day, round and round. And no real distance either. It used to take less than 30 minutes to make the lap. So I kept dreaming about how good it would be to just leave the metro and work on a real railroad. And travel around Russia. Not to run in circles like a rat in a maze. My wife wouldn't let me. We had kids, too. When I'd start going on about the railroad, about my dream, she'd stop sleeping with me for months in protest. Yes.
That was
But
nice.
when Moscow got hit, my Tatiana and little Sashenka were at home. I was working that day. Irishka was waiting for me in the metro, returning from cram school. So we survived together that day. But in the end, I lost her to TB. You know how it goes. So I'm driving here and talking to Tatiana in my head. See, I say, you couldn't stop me for good after all. Here I am, on a real railroad. A real engineer. Tanyusha. I'm sorry I got so emotional there.
Oh, it's my fault. I'm really sorry. And thank you for telling me.
That was actually nice.
Is there any music on the air?
Shut up. I am having a moment and you people keep interrupting me.
Well, there just might.
God damn it, I am pausing. Okay. That was actually a beautiful little introductory bit for Yarmak, because him helping us in the station didn't make too much sense, but knowing that he was doing runs for the Hansa and that they were just executing people and that he had problems with that and everything that he went through in his dreams, I'll admit the part where he was talking about his wife dying in the nuclear strikes and how he lost his other child. I really do feel for the guy now, and I'm glad we have him on Auora. And it's full steam ahead from here.
Will you scan the air for some?
After all those years in the underground, the air of the surface seemed incredibly fresh, intoxicating. But that was not what had caused the crew's euphoria. Our journey finally got a definite purpose provided by the transmission from the government bunker in the Urals. For 20 years we thought that neither the government nor military high command had survived. Turns out they're still around. Where were they while we were eating each other alive in the metro? We'll have a lot of questions for them once we reach Yamantau, if we reach it. The ruins of our country are under enemy control, according to Miller, and we'll have to fight through to our goal. A small team against the occupation armies? What are the chances that we'll succeed? That we'll get some answers?
Pretty low, Artyom, but we're gonna take him.